And welcome back to the Champions of Galar Tournament Experiment Edition. I am your commentator, IncogM, and I am joined by the wonderful MattOshea.
Hello everyone, we're here for a fantastic game today versus Rewt and Shay. It's going to be a good one. You guys can see the teams on the screen.
Yes, you can. And today, Rewt has Rillaboom Spectre, Buzzwold, Silvally, Seismitoad, Executor, Alolan, Slowking, Galar, Klefki, Bisharp, and Glastrier.
While Shay has the Tapu Bulu, Coco, Lele, and Feeny with a Blastoise, Registeel, 10% Zygarde, Garbodor, Marowak, and a Rapidash.
And of course, let's go ahead and talk about what they did in the matchup today. Now, on screen for you is Shay's perspective. He has the Coco, the Blastoise, the Garbodor, the Lele, the Rapidash, and the Registeel.
And Rewt with Buzzwole, Silvally. We don't know what type yet. A Seismitoad, Galar, Slowking, Bisharp, and Spectrier. It's going to be a good game. And honestly, looking at it right now, do you notice anything interesting about what was brought for the 6th on each side, Incog?
I think I see a Power Herb Rapidash on this side. The Dallas Starmies, aka Shayquaza, has brought an very interesting team if you ask me. Power Herb, probably to catch that Seismitoad lacking, but what do you see, Matt?
Well, I'm going to say this right now. Considering that boots are not around, the Garbodor spikes, if it is spikes, are going to be really nice in the situation, seeing that there's only one option for hazard removal on Rewt's team being Silvally, and we'll see if he even brought that.
Yes, we will, but without further ado, Shay's gonna sit here for a little bit, talk about his life, and maybe even think about his life decision before he makes the Tapu Koko lead. Now he confirms it, waiting for Rewt to decide his own lead. I think Rewt could probably lead off with Glowking or even the Bisharp. What do you think, Matt?
I think Silvally is always a really safe and secure lead, especially on a team like this, where I believe it'll be Silvally Electric to kind of handle some of the Koko attacks. I think Silvally Electric as a lead would be really smart.
Well, good point. Let's get right into it. We see Shay's trainer card and Rewt's trainer card. Let's see what the lead matchup is. And let me just tell you right now, subscribe today to the CGT channel, because you know what? You get to see more commentary like this. And we see Adam and Steve as the lead. It is Bisharp.
Interesting. Okay. A Bisharp lead. This could be kind of cool to see what will be coming out now. Do we expect a Steel move to catch the Koko? Potentially a Scarf Bisharp maybe? Or is it going to be Rocks?
Perhaps, who knows, but Shay does end up leading off with the Tapu Koko as we have learned today, but we'll see what he opts to do. We see a set Calm Mind Tapu Koko. What do you think? Does this look good today as he decides to Thunderbolt?
I mean, it does look pretty good once the Galar Slowking is chipped, but this is going to take big damage to this Bisharp right here, bringing it all the way down to about 25%, and then Knockoff comes out, getting rid of that Shucka Berry. Wow, that is big damage. Does that look banded to you?
It could be banded, but the only unfortunate part is that Koko is already not as bulky as we all think it is. So it's definitely looking like it's banded if he has packed a defensive Koko. But we see the Dazzling Gleam about to come out here. And as we
probably
see
predicting a switch. Probably predicting a switch into the Seismitoad here.
Of course. But here comes the switch out. It is Joe Frogan. That is the Seismitoad if I've ever seen a name for it.
Very nice play. Very nice nickname. I like it a lot. And this Toad is bulky. Wow. Okay, now if you're Shay, do you go for the Grass Knot here, or do you switch out?
I think you should probably just go for the Grass Knot to see what he's going for here, but I could be wrong. Shay decides to think it through, and he might go for the Grass Knot, which he actually does. But maybe Rewt is doing this to check, but it's Rindo
There we
Berry.
go, the Rindo Berry. Very cool.
Of course.
This should take the hit.
It barely hangs on by a thread. Joe Frogan goes for the Earth Power, and this should dispatch the Tapu Koko.
Yeah, no way Koko's surviving this. There it goes. It's a really big threat on Shay's team that is gone, but it took out, 95% off of Seismitoad and 75% off of the Bisharp. And if I'm not mistaken, those are his only two rockers, only two hazard setters in general. So this could be a very interesting game on Rewt's end with those Pokemon weakened already.
Of course. Now Shay has to decide what he wants to go into, but now it makes the Solar Blade Rapidash a little bit useless. But we'll see the Lele coming in here. Could literally go for any attack it feels like. But I didn't get to see that moveset. If it has Shadow Ball, maybe you should go for it to catch the Glowking coming in.
I'm looking at it right now, and with the Scarf, it's nice. It outspeeds everything, which again is a huge advantage. But if it's an opposing Scarf Spectrier, then it's going to be very tough to keep this Lele healthy. You're going to have to keep it healthy, rather, to make sure that that Pokemon doesn't get too out of hand.
Of course. And now Shay's thinking about it. Oh, we see his moveset. He has Focus Blast, Moonblast, Psy Shock, and Energy Ball. He looks like he's going to be hovering over Moonblast for now because it looks like you know, when we looked at the team preview, Rewt did not have much for this Moonblasting Tapu Lele. Rewt decides to keep his Joe Frogan, and he goes right into Khan, which is the Galarian Slowking. Maybe having Shadow Ball would have been better. Do you think so, Matt?
Honestly, if this is Assault Vest, definitely not. Psyshock was the right play. This is terrain boosted, doing 55% to a Glowking. That's an amazing amount of damage. Problem is, Bisharp is still around, and that is an immunity to the Psyshock, so switching out, in my opinion, is a good deal.
Of course, and we see Shay deciding to go into the Rapidash here to catch maybe the Bisharp coming in. Maybe he should have just attacked what's in front of him? Who knows? We all know that Shay likes to make interesting plays and make interesting teams, so maybe this will pay off for him in the end. We see the Lele come back. And it is... however you say it. And we see Rewt switch out. Is this the Bisharp coming in? But of course it is. Adam and Steve.
Very good play. Problem is now, we saw the set on this. This thing has one fire type attack, and it's Flame Charge. And other than that, Soul Blade's a 2-turn attack, so once the Power Herb is gone, you're relying solely on an attack that's, what, 50 base power to do damage? Not the best situation to be in if you are Shay, even after a great play.
Of course, but maybe, just maybe, he's thinking about SDing here. But he actually does go for the Flame Charge to get that speed advantage and to also just outspeed everything generally on Rewt's team.
The good news is this can get a big hit off on everything except for a Scarf Spectrier, which this should take a hit from because Rapidash's bulk is actually not bad to deal with at all.
Oh, but of course. However, we have to also mind ourselves here. There is still a Savali type that we don't know, so it could be something to counteract the Rapidash. But we'll see what Rewt decides to do today.
Well, if we see a Silvally Water, it's going to get absolutely cooked by that Power Herb Solar Blade. It'd be just a fantastic thing to see that pop off right here. I would love to see it.
Oh yes, this could be a really good read on Shay's part to know maybe Silvally Water would be good. Macule comes in. That is the Silvally Normal. Interesting.
Yeah, that's either normal or steel, but it does look normal to me. I guess he's checking right now, and yeah, it is normal. So this, to me, is probably going to be either Assault Vest or Rest. One of those two sets to be able to help deal with all those special threats, the special Tapus that Shay has on his roster.
As we see Shay go into Garbodor, we see if it'll pay off for him, because of course, he's maybe predicting just a multi-attack.
It is Rocky Helmet, so getting that chip on Silvally is nice, and you called it right away, Incog. Multi-attack comes out. This should do a good chunk of damage, and it does about half. Wow. Big damage down the Garbodor.
Reads like a library. We see the multi-attack come out, hitting the Garbodor. But hey, who knows what could happen here? Garbodor likely wants to put up spikes now because it doesn't really have any other opportunities. However, what will Shay do is the question. You know, looking at this, it really looks to me that this set is going to be a multi-attack Swords Dance Flame Charge set because Shay's resist to normal is a Registeel, which will not appreciate taking fire moves. Oh, but of course, we do see the spikes come up from Shay. And I don't recall seeing the ability on Garbodor, but it could be Aftermath, which could actually benefit him to get off a lot more chip on the Silvally. Don't you think so? Well, getting the Silvally down to, at the bare minimum, 50% because of Rocky Helmet plus the Aftermath would be huge for the Scarf Tapu Lele, especially if you can't get the boost with the Silvally here. No, but of course, we see the Flame Charge pop off, does a little bit more damage, but Shay will get up his next layer of spikes. But I missaw it, but he goes for Gunk Shot instead, getting off more chip. Can we see a poison? No poison, no Night. Well, not looking good for Rewt here. Not looking good for Rewt here. Shay's done a very good thing here by just letting this Pokemon go. He allows the Silvally to take more and more chip, and the Aftermath. I was correct, and the Silvally is gone. We are now at 4-4. I think this battle has been quite interesting so far, but who knows what turn it could take coming up. You know, we're looking at it right now, and Shay is definitely at a pretty big advantage going on. A full health of 4 Pokemon right now, and the only information that Rewt could possibly know about this team is that it might be a Scarf Lele, which is super interesting. It's going to come down to whether Spectrier, Slowking, Buzzwole, and what was the other Pokemon left? I don't think there's anything left, actually, that could take the hit. It's going to be tough for the rest of the matchup here. Wow. We see Registeel as the switch in for Shay, but let's see what Rewt decides to go into. I believe he still has that Seismitoad at very low HP. Speaking of which, we see the Glowking come in, and you know, it obviously is Regenerator, but does it want to sit in front of this Registeel? Who knows? It takes some spikes damage, and this could decide a lot more than we like to suspect. We see Shay set.
What a set. Curse, Registeel. It's really good and kind of an amazing matchup against quite a few different Pokemon, especially if the fighting type in Buzzwole comes in after a couple curses are set up.
Yeah, of course. And definitely here, if he's a Spidef Registeel, well, that Spectre is not doing nothing to him. So he decides to go ahead and go for the curse this turn, and I think that's a really good move to go for now.
Well, Slowking gets Flamethrower, so we're going to see how much damage that might do, and I guess for staying in, you're probably expecting to do some damage back to it.
Oh, but of course. You see the Flamethrower pop?
And how much will it do? 187, that's not bad damage. Considering this thing has no recovery outside of leftovers, you want to get that damage. The thing is Slowking going to outspeed a -1 Registeel? That is the question. Are you okay sacking it off to an Earthquake here?
I don't think he will. I think he's going to go hard Seismitoad and maybe sack that off to gain back all of his HP on his Slowking. But he also has Buzzwole, a good resist here, so he could just go into that. As we see Rewt switch out into Stafford. Oh boy, that is the Buzzwole.
Very good play here. Resist the stab, I believe, with fighting. I could be wrong with that. An Earthquake definitely resisted, and it's only at +1, and Buzzwole's attack stat is kind of massive. That did like 2%. Oh my god. That is a bulky boy.
Yes, the defensive beast of the Middle East known as Buzzwole taking that Earthquake and also resists Heavy Slam, I believe. But we will see what happens next here. I think Shay needs to switch out personally, but he could be risky. He could be like, you know what, whatever. But he's not me for real. So he's going to go into Lele or even the Rapidash. If he has Flame Body, it would be a good time to reveal it now.
The question is, are we going to see a fighting type attack, expecting him to not go into the Tapu Lele? Because if we do see that Lele, it's 4 times resisted, and immediately Rewt gets put on the back foot, whatever you want to call it. But we're going to see a switch into the Lele. What is the play from Rewt?
Yes, of course. We see Lele coming in here. We see the Psychic Terrain going up in 3, 2. There it is. But with that being said, could Rewt make the read? Maybe. He might just go for Leech Life, honestly. Who knows? Nope.
Drain
Punch pops.
Oh, that's going to do nothing. 19 points of health, and that's it. This is not going to be good for Rewt here, and Shay's in such a commanding position right now.
Yes, he is dominating this game, much like many teams have in the past via the NFL, as we see the Stafford nickname. A good reference, I like to think. But we're going to see Shay double out here because he knows that something else is going to be coming in here. But maybe he likes to risk the biscuit. We'll see the Psyshock come out, or maybe we'll see a switch. It's Psyshock instead, which means this Buzzwole is taking a hefty amount of damage.
Will it drop, though? Psyshock is a physical attacking move, basically, and it doesn't. That does, what, 60%? Poison Jab. Will this KO? Big damage for sure.
We
and
see
not
no
enough.
KO. But
the poison! Oh, that's big. This should get the KO. 16 HP. I believe Lele will drop to this, taking 12% from the poison. That is a nice 30% right there.
And there it goes. The Lele dies. Why it did, nobody knows. But you knows. The Poison Jab poison. All right, Shay's now on the back foot. But this is the first time he's been on the back foot, to be fair. So he could definitely pull this back in his favor. The Rapidash is looking even better here now, as you see it come out.
What a risky play by Rewt, paying off. Expecting not the Moonblast, not the Psychic, but specifically the Psyshock. And it ended up benefiting him. Great play.
But we see the SD. Oh, an interesting play, I like to think. But this will be beneficial unless this Buzzwole has Earthquake, which could definitely bite Shay in the butt if it does.
Well, Buzzwole stays in. This Pokemon is not going to appreciate an attack. It's a Drain Punch.
Drain Punch. All right. So he doesn't have Earthquake, which is good to know. But do we see a Flame Body pop here? Let's see.
Well, Buzzwole's being at a round.
Pops! I am king of RNG and hacks. When I say it, it happens. Well, we're in a better situation for Shay once again. Despite having less Pokemon, he is actually commanding this game still.
Wow, what a turn of events. After the 30% that Shay was victim to, now he gets to inflict a 30% onto Rewt. Problem now is, I don't think a +2 Flame Charge will get the KO on this Buzzwole, but it will do a hefty amount of damage to keep it low for the Registeel. And that Pokemon is looking really good towards the end game. What do you think?
I think I agree with you right now, but I do think the Flame Charge will probably kill. This is Stab, maybe just low power maybe has you on the brain about it, but oh, it doesn't! I was wrong? Who would have guessed? But we see the Drain Punch pop one more time. As we see the Rapidash still living, and it'll definitely get the kill in the next flame charge, which puts Shay in another commanding position. Unless it's a Scarf Spectrier, this Rapidash can easily start picking off more Pokemon the more it goes.
If you're Shay, or Rewt rather, do you preserve this Buzzwole, keep it in the back, and just sack off the Seismitoad here? Or do you just let this go?
I personally would definitely consider getting rid of the Seismitoad here, maybe. Because the Buzzwole, while it is burned, you know, it could still hold its own. But I guess I was wrong yet again. Rewt lets the Buzzwole die, allowing this Rapidash to get to, I believe, +2 or 3. I actually don't recall.
+2, which means it'll outspeed a Scarf Spectrier now. And at this point in time, the only thing that'll take a hit will be the Galar Slowking, and it's not going to appreciate taking a +2 Flame Charge.
Oh, but of course, but it'll still try to take it. But we see Ivermectin coming. It is the Spectrier. Gosh darn it, Rewt, you and your names. But could this kill? Maybe. But I don't actually think it kills at +2.
It's not the bulkiest Pokemon, but it'll definitely do a lot of damage to the point that it'll be in range of basically anything that Shay can throw off the next time around.
Oh, but of course. But you never know. With something like this, maybe Shay knows something that we don't. Because I would have personally, I'd probably switch out into Registeel. But we see Endure Spectrier.
This is going to be Endure Salicberry. It's going to be Endure Salicberry. What a great play. But will this outspeed? I don't think so, because we see another Flame Charge. Wow.
It's not under 25%, so the berry does not pop. So now we're going to see a Rapidash start claiming a Spectrier. The battle of the horses, and one is whipping, but the other one is nay-naying. Let's see if Shay can complete this. But another Endure pops, because he got it. You usually can't get an Endure to go 2 times in a row, but he got it.
It's not going to matter here. Oh, we're going to see the Salic pop. I imagine that's what it's going to be, but this Pokemon, it can't outspeed anymore. Unless we see, I don't know, does this thing get Sucker Punch, Quick Attack, any bit of priority?
We'll see. Maybe he has the horses in the back, but right now it's in the front. Let's see what Spectrier can do to confront this Rapidash. It does nothing. It meant nothing.
Wow.
Rewt should have just gone for damage, but he went for the Endure. I get it for real. You just like me, but maybe we should have gone for some damage, because now it's Rapidash's show to end. Let's find out what Rewt decides to do now.
You know, this just goes to show you don't have to have the most powerful attacking moves on your Pokemon. You can get set up to +2, +3, whatever, and then go for an attack, a support move really, like Flame Charge, and really start putting in the work. Crazy how good this Rapidash has been.
Now Rapidash is going to chunk this Galarian Slowking, of course, because good Lord have mercy, that is still a lot of damage. But unfortunately, we're going to see Rapidash drop here to Sludge Wave. Well, if I'm Rewt here, what do I do here, Matt?
Well, if you're Rewt right now, Shay, you're expecting Shay to go hard into the Registeel because you can't really do too much to it. And you have to hope, and really hope, that you can chip it down enough to the point where Seismitoad can get the KO on it with the Earth Power. That is your only option right now.
Oh, but of course, but I also think he still doesn't know what the Blastoise does, so this game is essentially over. That Blastoise is Assault Vest. But he decides to switch out and let Seismitoad go, which I agree with personally.
Well,
but you know what? It'd be like that sometimes, because now it dies to Spikes.
Oh,
so you
there
can
we
see
go.
what he's going to go for.
You know, we completely disregarded the Spikes for a little bit, because I was expecting him to go and sack off the Seismitoad a lot earlier, or just go into it to absorb a hit. But taking that Seismitoad, putting it in a range of Spikes was massive for it. Wow. Very good getting the Spikes up for Shay here.
Well, I think this game is over because Shay is about to just lose it all, or win it all here, excuse me, because I don't see any way Rewt wins this unless he gets a crit flamethrower into a burn.
Well, we're going to see the Earthquake come out. This will do at least half, I'd imagine. Yeah, this unless, again, we see that flamethrower burn and crits, it probably is not going to look like a 2-0 in Shay's favor here, and that just does like 25%. It's not enough.
It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. Maybe if Rillaboom showed up, it wouldn't have ended this way. But with that being said, Shay takes the 2-0 victory over Rewt and his New Jersey Brobats. And I want to thank you guys for watching. And you know what? Thank you for being here. And thank you, Matt, for being here, of course. You know,
yeah, of course.
We don't get every day to do this, you know. But with that being said here, the 2-0 victory for the Dallas Starmies. Man, What a time, what a time. But in this outro, I want to tell you guys to subscribe, check out all the other coaches in the description, and make sure that you keep watching every week, because there will be different commentators per battle. And for me and Matt, we'll have our links in the description, of course. Check us both out. We're pretty good battlers, if I do say so myself.
Make sure to check out the coaches as well. They put on a phenomenal game, and also help us out by commenting down below which is your favorite of the terrains. We had 4 Tapus and a Rillaboom. Those are what? The 5 best setters of terrain in Pokemon. We would love to hear what you guys think of them down below.
Of course. Is it electric, grassy, misty, or psychic? I'm a big fan of misty terrain. How about you, Matt?
Electric terrain all the way.
Of course, but that's going to do it from us both. See you guys next week on the CGT Experiment Tournament, whatever we want to call it at this point. See you guys later.